I arrested my own brother for what he did to our little cousin, and nothing has ever burned more than slapping those cuffs on the wrists I grew up trusting. I've put murderers in the back of my squad car. I've walked drug dealers off corners. I've wrestled men twice my size to the ground, but nothing prepared me for that moment. Looking into his eyes, knowing blood meant nothing against the oath I'd sworn. I'm a cop in a town where last names carry weight. People know your family, your history, your failures. My brother, Caleb, was always the golden one. He had charm I didn't, an easy smile, the kind of charisma that made teachers overlook trouble and neighbors forgive mistakes. I was the serious one, the straight arrow, the one who followed the rules. We balanced each other, or so I thought. But that balance shattered the night our cousin Anna came forward. Anna was 16. She walked into the station pale as chalk, clutching her hoodie like it was armor. She asked to speak privately, and when she sat across from me, her voice cracked as she told me Caleb had cornered her after a family barbecue. At first I didn't believe it. I couldn't. Caleb was reckless, sure, but this... My brain screamed no while my training forced me to keep my face still, my pen moving. She described everything. The touch, the threats, the shame. Tears smeared her mascara until she looked like she was bleeding black. By the time she finished, I wanted to vomit. I begged the universe for her to be lying, for her to be mistaken. But the bruises she showed me said otherwise. Her phone, with messages from Caleb telling her to keep quiet or else, said otherwise. My oath said otherwise. The arrest warrant was mine to execute. I drove to Caleb's place, lights off, uniform heavy on my shoulders. He opened the door barefoot, holding a beer, grinning like nothing in the world could touch him. When I told him the charges, the grin faltered. When I pulled the cuffs, his eyes hardened. "You do this to me?" he asked. And I whispered, "You did this to yourself." But as I walked him to the cruiser, the whole neighborhood watching, I felt something tear inside me. Not my badge, not my oath, my family. And I knew this was only the beginning. News travels fast in small towns, but family news travels faster. By the time Caleb was booked and processed, my phone lit up with calls and texts. Mom's number popped up first, then Dad's, then an uncle who never called me for anything. I ignored them all, but when I pulled into my driveway, they were waiting. My mother stormed up the porch steps, her voice breaking as she shouted, "How could you? He's your brother." My father stood behind her, arms crossed, jaw tight. I tried to explain, tried to tell them about Anna's statement, about the bruises, about the messages. Mom shook her head like I was speaking another language. "She's confused," she said. "You know how teenage girls are." My father finally spoke, his voice low but sharp. "Blood comes first, always, but blood had already been spilled, in a way. Anna's innocence, her safety, that was blood too, and I had sworn to protect it. I took an oath," I said, meeting his glare. "Not just to this family, to everyone. They didn't want to hear it." That night my parents went to Caleb's arraignment, sat behind him, whispered encouragement as if he were the victim. Anna sat on the opposite side of the courtroom, trembling between her parents. I sat with her, my badge heavy on my chest, my family glaring holes through me. At the next family gathering, a half-hearted attempt at normalcy, the lines were drawn.
Click on the link to get the full video down below.